New 72 Radio, the voice, views, and visions of the collective.
Hi, everyone. This is Debby Wallace
and Theresa Wolf. We're with Talk Time with Debby and Theresa. This is our first show, so we're a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and we've had some technical glitches, actually. My computer decided to restart its whole self all up again and update itself just about 5 minutes prior to airtime. So please bear with us as we gather our thoughts here today.
Right. It was panic mode for a while there, so we're not quite together. Probably the first thing we wanted to do is say we are actually airing out of Ancient Mystic Moon in Portland, Oregon. And this is our shop. We actually do alternative healing, readings, Reiki,
reflexology, past life regressions, and spiritual healing in general.
Right. So our shop is open if you need a venue for a small affair, meeting, classes. In fact, we are hosting different guests throughout our radio station, plus also they are doing classes here at Ancient Mystic Moon. Some upcoming activities, I thought we could do those first and then we'll hop right in.
Yeah, we have a special guest today.
Right.
So we have Raven Keys, who's going to talk to us a little bit later about her medical Reiki workshop and program that she's been very successful with. And so we'll get to that after these announcements.
Right. May 12th is an automatic writing with your loved ones. It's on the May 12th, and it is from 6:30 to 8:30, I believe.
That's a Thursday evening.
Evening, $20, and we will be experiencing automatic writing. On the 19th of May is our second radio show, and our topic will be grief recovery. And our special guest will be Edward Owens, who is with Grief Recovery, Inc. It's a national organization that helps people deal with grief. Grief is not only when you lose an individual through death, but there are loss of jobs, relationships, pets, even when you lose your income. Then in June, actually for 8 weeks, we will be hosting a grief recovery program that Ed Owens will be doing here starting on June 2nd for 8 weeks. It's on every Thursday for 8 weeks. Then July 9th and 10th, Raven Keys will be here. We're very excited with the medical Reiki. So we're there again, new with the radio and with the hosting. So we're very excited about our upcoming programs, and we will be offering more classes and more opportunities.
And don't forget Drop-In Thursday.
All right. Drop-In Thursday starts in June with the Drop-In Thursday open house and photo shoot. We have a friend who is a photographer who is going to offer headshot photos for a very reasonable price that can be used on your business cards, on your website.
At Drop-In Thursday, we're going to be offering mini sessions with reflexology and Reiki and general healing, energy healing services.
And mini readings. I will be here to do mini readings also.
Yeah, Teresa's an excellent medium seer, and so I'm sure that you'd enjoy that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back to Raven Keys.
Well, actually, thought we'd start first with a little bit of just discussion on Reiki is.
Okay.
For those who don't know Reiki, I have a definition here kind of boring, dictionary style stuff. But it's a good way to start. Reiki is a therapy often described as palm healing or hands-on body healing, in which a practitioner places hands lightly on or over a patient's body to facilitate the patient's process of healing. It is derived from a Japanese and a Chinese word. The Rei means spiritual or supernatural and is Chinese. The Ki is the energy. So that's how we come up with Reiki. Both Debby and I are Reiki masters on the Usui lineage line. And I think Reiki is something that many people have experienced because it is energy.
It is energy. Everybody and everything is energy. And so all Reiki basically is allowing yourself to channel that healing energy for whatever healing that you think needs to be done, whether it is for an animal, whether it is for another person, or just Mother Earth in general. It's channeling healing energy.
And it's energy that we're obtaining from the universe. So you're not using your own energy when you're sending it out and using Reiki. You're channeling the universal energy, the energy from God, the angels, whatever you feel is appropriate in that sort of realm. I think that many of us have felt Reiki's energy way before you maybe even ran into Reiki as a modality. I know as a 6-year-old, my sisters and I used to play with Reiki, didn't even know it was Reiki. It was just fun. We were able to make energy balls and toss them back and forth and giggle and laugh, and managed to get in a lot of trouble because it was always at bedtime and the lights were already out. But we were having fun because we could feel and sculpture balls of energy and play with it. So I know when I went to my first Reiki class and there were people there that didn't even have the slightest idea, I was slightly shocked because I had been playing with it and showing my own children how to play with it for years before I even knew it was a modality or could be used in a healing fashion. We just strictly used it for play.
Yeah, what's really exciting is that Raven already uses Reiki, and she uses it alongside the medical profession and is basically mainstreaming it so that she's taking it out of the quote-unquote woo-woo segment and making it possible for everybody to be able to have access to it. And so I think that is absolutely an incredible thing that she's doing for everyone. So anyway, anytime she's ready to come on, we're ready to see her.
Oh, we have no camera. Oh, Raven?
Do you see me?
Not yet. I can hear you.
See. Raven. Yes. Can you see me now?
No.
No, we can't see you.
Okay, let's see. How about now?
No.
The host has asked you to start your video. I don't know where that is. Do you know where the video is?
It should be down at the bottom of your screen.
On the left side.
On the left side?
Right at the bottom of the black screen.
Okay, let me look.
Raven, it's Kelly. I'm on the line with you as well. It should be right down there on the bottom left. There you go. Oh, you're upside down.
You're upside down,
Okay.
but I see you.
Well,
I love
it's an improvement. Am I right side up now? Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Congratulations on your first show. I'm very honored to be part of it.
Well, thank you. We're very excited to have you here. This has been very, very exciting. We've been looking forward to it. We're looking forward to your class in July.
Oh, yes. We are very excited. Can you tell us a little bit about your class and how your class came to be for you?
Yes. Well, I've been going into the operating room with doctors since 2000. This being New York, it's a very progressive thing as far as medicine goes. A lot of exciting things seem to be launched from here. So what happened was that a client asked me to go into the operating room in the year 2000. She was having open heart surgery. Well, I'm very squeamish. I don't like blood. I thought there's no way I could do this. But during her session, you know, I work with the Archangel Gabriel, and he came through and said, you need to do this. There's so many things that need to happen in the future. You just have to be brave and know that we'll all be with you and all will be well. So long story short, I ended up in the operating room, and then it was really an intense experience, but the results were so dramatic, and a lot of things happened after that. Not only did the surgery go extremely well, and the patient healed so rapidly, like within a couple of months, like she was jumping out of a tree, I think in your neck of the woods, doing leadership training, like sailing down on a wire, you know, like out of the treetops. And it was just amazing. So I ended up being asked to join Dr. Oz's team of researchers. So I was very, really shy and felt like, well, what am I doing in this room with all these research doctors, and their research is being written up in medical journals all over, like major things. So I think the reason that I was really chosen, I really feel like this was given to me as a job, to figure out how to do this. I didn't know it at the time, but because I'm not really a medical person, and I'm not into blood and guts or any of those things. I'm also very much into empowering others, like with my clients, with my students. It's all about how can we raise you up to be the best you can be. I see you, I see you. That's what I'm always saying to them. I see how great you are. And I think that maybe that's why, some of the reasons why this fell to me, because I sometimes really do feel like, you know, this is a lot. You know, sometimes I think, how am I going to do all this? But somehow it all works out. So jump to the 10 years after that. Like I was on the research team, and I went into the operating room for a double lung transplant. It was like one thing, and then 9/11 happened right as that double lung transplant took place. If that guy didn't get his lungs the day they came, he would have died, because he was at death's door. And and then New York shut down. Like you couldn't go on the subway, you couldn't drive a car, you couldn't do anything. He was in the hospital, and it was just whoosh. And as soon as he got his lungs, New York shut down. So it was quite a miraculous thing. And then 9/11 was here, and as a lot of people know who read my book or just know me, I really devoted myself for those 8.5 months while they did the cleanup of Ground Zero to doing volunteer work at Ground Zero, at the medical examiner's office, at the family center. So then, you know, time went by, I just got involved in doing my own stuff. And then finally, in 2010, I think it was, I don't know, it was like 7 years ago. I don't even know what year it is sometime. Yeah, I think it was 2000, I think. Anyway, 2010, I was asked by another client to go into the OR for breast cancer surgery. And ever since then, I've been working with Dr. Feldman, Dr. Sheldon, Mark Feldman, and I've seen many of his patients. So then it came to pass that at the very beginning of last year, say around February, I got the call, if you will, from Gabriel. He said, you have to start teaching other Reiki masters how to do this, how to go into the operating room. This needs to happen. This needs to happen. So I had a class, you know, the first class that I held, there was somebody there, and she took really good notes, and her notes turned into the manual that we all have now with all the gold standards and practices. And so what I'm doing is training Reiki masters on how to go to surgery. There are things you really need to know. And for whatever reason, my personality, my shyness, my my ability to disappear under pressure. I don't know. It was it all worked out. So there's really a lot to know. And when we have the class, the first thing that happens is that there's a beautiful meditation, and everybody meets their angel that they're going to work with in the operating room, because you cannot do this by yourself.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't.
Oh, well, we're really looking forward to it. How many practitioners have you trained thus far, and how many workshops? You said you started in February a year ago, or?
No, actually, it was more like April. So it's only existed for a year. In that time, I've held several in my city of New York, and I've been to Denver, to North Carolina, and to Canada twice, to 2 different cities in Canada. So right now, even though like medical Reiki is just like about 1 year old, there are like 100 medical Reiki masters. The update on all that is that there are upcoming trainings, including Portland, which I am so excited about. You will be the very first medical Reiki masters on the West Coast. This is not a small thing, because we are starting to get calls from people, like word is getting out, and it's not only just about going to surgery, it's about people calling up. They want a medical Reiki master because their husband's sick, their child is ill, their brother is going through something. They need medical Reiki during chemotherapy. Like, we are considered to be very elite Reiki masters, medical Reiki masters. And I have started a company. Dr. Feldman said, I brought him when I first started doing this, the manual that you'll have, and the support papers, which are crucial. I mean, some of them are written by doctors, and they open doors to surgeons. They say, oh, well, of course, yes. I mean, they really do make a huge impact on the doctors. And it's really amazing. So he said, when I went to have that meeting with him, I really think you should start a company. So I just started a company. It has a logo. It has a logo. Right now, as we're talking, in my apartment, my office is across the hall from my apartment in the city of New York. The webmaster is in my apartment with my beloved from Glastonbury, England. They are working on the website right now. Earlier today, I had a meeting with my team here in New York, and a business consultant who just showed up, and she loves everything that we're doing. And Dr. Feldman has approved this video that one of the other medical Reiki masters is a filmmaker, Mark Stutson, and he put together, he had all of us come and filmed us at different times, including Dr. Feldman. We have this amazing video now that's going to be used to raise money. Just today, with the business consultant here, in the middle of the meeting, I wrote to Dr. Feldman and I said, how do you want us to raise this money? Do you want it to come directly to Columbia, or do you want us to start a 401c3 or something? I can't remember the name of it. It's something whatever it is, it gives us not-for-profit status. So guess what? I'm going to open another company, because Dr. Feldman said, open your own company. So 501c3 or whatever it is. And so come Tuesday, I'm going to start another company that's going to be the not-for-profit, so people can give money and get tax deductions. Because the fact is, this research that we're going to fund is going to cost some bucks. So we want people to be able to get a tax deduction, because this is New York, and with some of the players involved in this, there could be one person that would give $100,000. That's not what it's really all about, though. it's more about Bernie, like Bernie Sanders, going and getting $25 here, $50 there. That's what we're hoping will really happen. This is the first time in the history of the world that we, the people, will be able to fund a medical research project that will bring so many blessings to so many people, and it's just funded by the people, not by a pharmaceutical company or a technology company. Yeah. You know, I've been in the operating room tons of times and seen when one of those players was the one that was giving the money for what was being researched right in front of my eyes, you know? So I'm pretty proud.
How are they going to go about researching this particular type of energy healing? It's kind of hard to have something to base it against, or something to base the judgment on whether it's working, whether it's not working, how it's working. I'm a Reiki master. I know it works. But, you know, proving it to other people or showing them, okay, these are the benefits. How is that going to play out in the research, in the way they research it? Well,
Dr. Feldman already has that pretty much under control, it seems. He has wanted to do this for some time, this particular research. And what this is, he in the video, he speaks about some of this. One of the things that they're going to measure is cortisol levels, which will, it's absolutely, it cannot be refuted. Like, it really does show stress levels, you know, things like that. And the person who is working with him her name is Heather Greenlee, and she's the only naturopath in the entire United States of America, and probably the world, that's teaching natural medicine in a university. She teaches at Columbia. So she's also an incredible researcher. So they've gone over whatever they're going to look at. Believe me, at the end of this, there's going to be a pilot study. And then if all goes well, it'll turn into a big study. We're talking about a lot of cash that's going to be needed to be raised to make this happen, and we're going to do it. Because every time I think, how am I going to do this? Something happens. It's like blessed. This whole thing is totally blessed. And the thing is, too, that, you know, here I am over here in New York saying, well, you know, I'm going to train these medical Reiki masters. And all these people are saying, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I think we're all being called. And it's not about me. I'm just the messenger. It's not about me. It's just the same as doing Reiki. Like, it's not about us. We're the channels. We're the empty glass. We're the hollow bone. We're the whatever you want to call us, that's bringing this work into the world. And, you know, it's going to happen. It's absolutely beyond the shadow of a doubt going to happen.
Well, like I said before, I'm very excited about it. When we began promoting this, when I first found out that, you know, you agreed to come out and bless us with this opportunity, I actually ran into some resistance on a couple of sites that we posted, you know, to bring awareness. And I don't know if we stepped on somebody's toes. But what we were told in those uncertain terms were that, oh, they're already doing this and it's already working alongside the medical profession and all of this stuff. Well, I'd never heard of it before. Not in, you know, not that way. Not that way. And then we talked to some other gals that we thought actually would be interested, because they are exceptional Reiki practitioners. And we got the poo-poo there. Oh, OHSU, which is our big training hospital here in Portland. Oh, OHSU won't deal with it because the pharma companies are backing them. And I mean, we hear all of this stuff. And Theresa and I are going, no, wait just a minute here. That's, this is not happening. We're going to go ahead and move forward with this. We don't care what you people have to say,
Yeah.
And so then we started getting, people on board who are actually interested in hearing about it, and taking the classes and wanting to take the classes and wanting to actually learn more about it.
And we're still stepping on toes because I keep putting it out on the sites where we had complaints. I haven't gotten any complaints yet, but I'm still putting it out there.
We're waiting for them to just kind of unpost us or something. I don't know what we're waiting for. But we did have some people who would like to take the class and who ran into an issue where they need their practitioners already, energy healing practitioners. They've got their licensed massage therapists, reflexologists, different kinds of things like that. But they have to take classes where they can get CEUs. Mm-hmm. And so they're having a little difficulty justifying taking a class where they can't do the CEUs as opposed to. So are you thinking about possibly getting into a position where you can offer that as a CEU class?
Yes, we're hoping, but we're dancing as fast as we can. It's like we have to take care of this, like laying the groundwork is really crucial. And that's like an add-on for later. And the fact of the matter is, right at this moment in time, those who were called on the first wave to make this happen, the pioneers, are going to want to do it. That's all. Like, I don't even worry about it. It's like, yes, I know people are poo-poo, but the fact of the matter is, this is another fact of the matter, is that this research that we're doing is Dr. Feldman is the only surgeon that I'm aware of in the world who on a regular basis has Reiki, medical Reiki going on in his operating room. Something that started out as Reiki and has now graduated to medical Reiki. We have interns going into the OR because Dr. Feldman wants everybody to have an opportunity to see what it's like in the operating room. Gets all dressed up in scrubs, and then you already know from what you learn in the class what to expect, and then there's the actual being there.
Uh-huh.
And that's not always going to happen. It's very possible that you will be in the operating room, one of you, the first person on the West Coast to be in an operating room. But at least you're going to know how to do it, what to do, and why, and who the players are. And Dr. Feldman's research, it says right in the video, he wants to prove this in the operating room, that it works in the operating room. And he's the only surgeon that allows this in his operating room on a regular basis. I think that if there are any other surgeons in the world that are allowing this, I don't know of it. But if it is happening, I would imagine that's happening because it's coming from a nurse. You know what I mean? There's a nurse practitioner that's in the room that's doing Reiki or something like that. I mean, it's just, I've never heard of it.
I spoke with a couple of the gals from Salem who are actually going to be taking the workshop, and they are already doing some of it on a volunteer basis.
Yeah.
In gratitude for everyone tuning in, if you have any questions, please raise your hand or post it in the Q&A, and you'll find this in the upper left hand of your screen. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask or raise your hand.
Well, I do have one while we're waiting for a question to come in. Reiki, of course, is beneficial for the client, the patient, but how does the Reiki affect the nursing staff and doctor staff also within the operating room?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, I feel that I'm really glad you asked that question, because I feel that is a major thing that we're actually doing, is raising the energy and the vibrations of everybody in the room. And then it's like, they're like, well, what's going on here? And they notice. Like, I've had people come up to me after surgeries and their eyes are like, I don't know, what are you doing? As if I'm, wow, like that was amazing. I felt that. What was I feeling? Things like that. And Dr. Feldman says he feels it going into his hands. How bad is that? I mean, somebody's doing surgery and they feel Reiki in their hands. I mean, that can only be wonderful. And then, yeah, it changes everything. And then, people start talking about it. Well, I was in the operating room today. You would never believe it. There was this person in there and they were doing this thing called Reiki, and I don't know what it is. It's energy medicine. It's whatever it is. And like, it starts a conversation. And I feel like that's what we're doing in this world, is raising the vibrations of this people on this planet. Because if this is all going to go down in a good way, like, everybody knows it's an emergency on planet Earth. But I feel like, we've come here to do this. And this is what we can do. This is the piece we can do. And it's a big piece. Because it changes families, like if somebody's getting surgery, they usually have loved ones that are in the waiting room. And they know that their beloved is not alone in that place where it's steel and lights and cutting and burning and all the things that go on in an operating room. It's not pretty.
Yeah. No, I don't imagine it is. No. I do have one other question. There are many many lineages of Reiki. Does this work with all of the lineages?
Well, yes, it does, because it's about Reiki masters are channeling Reiki. No matter who trained them or what's going on with them, they're channeling Reiki. And so, yeah, I mean, I train Reiki masters who have been trained by everybody you can think of, and then some, So, yeah, we have holy fire people, and we have people, I don't know, William Rand's people, like everybody's coming. It's interesting. But like I said before, I think that there are certain people who are being called to do this right now, and we're on that team. And I'm going to write a book. I know that the way's being cleared now for me to do it. And it's not going to be just my book. This is my intention. My editor is already down for this. She wants me to send the proposal in the way she wants me to send it. But she thinks it's a great idea. And it's going to be written by all of us. I want people to send me stories. And, and you are bringing this to bear or to light in Portland. So the people who are hostessing these things or hosting them, it's really powerful for you. There's no telling what's going to happen, really, in a good way.
Raven, do you have a particular angel that you work with in the operating room?
Yes, Gabriel. But then also there's always the Archangel Michael, because Michael is such a powerful force of protection. So if things, people start saying things are going in a certain direction that is less than positive, because that does happen. Things can go amok sometimes with somebody's this or that. I just call in the Archangel Michael. I mean, it's not like, this isn't a fairy tale. Reiki is the real thing. It's a real power, but it's not a fairy tale. We're not living in a dream. Like, this is really serious stuff, to work with people who are seriously ill. They have breast cancer. They have, they have cystic fibrosis. They have this, they have that. They have all these different things. It's not a joke. And sometimes it's not your fault that somebody waited. They should have gone to the doctor a year ago, and they now have stage 4, and it's like really serious. I mean, when they're on the operating table, any kind of news could come up, or anything could come up at any moment in time. And then call in the Archangel Michael, big guns always. But the thing is, I work with the Archangel Gabriel. Any person who trains in medical Reiki is going to know who they're working with. They want to work with us. The angels want this to happen. It's not my gig. It's their gig.
Do you work with other light beings, healing beings, say ascended masters, you know?
I personally don't, because I have my own posse. You know, I don't have ascended masters in my posse. People who are practitioners will know what that means. I hope that doesn't upset anybody who doesn't understand about Reiki, but yeah. But you know, I have a different kind of posse. It's like I work with the divine feminine energy, the goddess. You know, it's really amazing. I know a lot of people who are into rune reading, and I love the runes. And a lot of people don't know what runes are, but when I was just in Glastonbury, I got a rune reading from a really powerful rune master named Tegan Craig. And she was actually trained by somebody that you may know from the Northwest, who is from England but lived in Britain for some time, Jeremy White. And I actually studied with Jeremy too to learn the runes. But anyway, she's giving me this rune reading, and she goes, you know, you need to look into the goddess Air, E-I-R. She's a Norse goddess. So, and the rune reading was over, I looked it up. She's the goddess of surgery. Wow. If you can imagine it, of surgery. Like in the ancient times when the after the battles and everybody's laying on the battlefield and the healers would come out, if somebody was bleeding out on the ground, they would call on the goddess Air. She's the goddess of big disasters and lots of cutting.
Boy, I don't know how much more confirmation you need than that.
I know. So I'm planning to next May. This is the first announcement of this that's being made. Next May, I'm planning to have a retreat in Glastonbury, England, which is a most amazing magical place for medical Reiki masters. I don't have any of the details yet, but that's what I want to do. And I want us to introduce Reiki to the community, be with each other, talk about our stuff. And we're even going to have, I hope, I'll be able to arrange this, a night of dancing together.
Oh, that'll be
that
fun.
Sounds like
magical.
Fun. Yeah, magical indeed.
Magical, yeah. That'll be awesome.
Do you see when you are with a client, say in surgery, do you see their angels and feel their each of us have guardians? Do you run into any of the guardians within the operating room that are from, you know, either the nurses, the doctors, or even the patient? I mean, I would assume, I do readings and I'm a seer, so a room can get pretty crowded pretty fast.
Yeah.
You start seeing what else is there.
Yeah. Well, you know, everybody has their gifts. So I feel like whenever a client who is a doctor's patient connects with any of us, whoever we are, that's the one that they're supposed to be with. Because whatever your gifts are, they need your gifts. They don't need my gifts. They don't need somebody else's gifts. They need your gifts. And so there's more going on than meets the eye with all of this. With all of this, I am beyond the shadow of a doubt. I know that, yeah. So to answer your question, Theresa, I do see sometimes other angels, but it's not my gift, you know.
Right.
Like I'm more likely to see their ancestors, some relative that's on the other side, come to show up for them. Or sometimes I do see like lots of angels. It just depends on the day or what needs to happen.
So basically you see who's holding space for them, and you then call on your posse, your angels, to help you direct the energy.
Yes.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? That's about, I call in, generally speaking, when I'm working, I do angelic healings as well. And generally speaking, when I'm doing energy work, I work with some ascended masters. I work with Mary and Jesus and Mother Teresa. Mary Magdalene is one of them. And then Raphael. and then sometimes we get some of the geometric stuff in there, and we get Metatron and Saint Germain, but it's because I have a connection with the angels, and that's kind of how I work. Again, like you, it's not my gig, it's not my deal. I just make my person present, and you know, they do whatever it is that they think they need to do, and I just sit there and you know, whatever it tends to be. I have a question. I was wondering if you're going to be training people to carry on your training, because you obviously can't be in as many places as you need to be. It's just not humanly possible.
It isn't. And that's why I think that deciding to become a hostess to this whole adventure, the people that are doing that for me are on the top tier of who's going to be trained to do this. Right now, there's one other person that teaches this, and it's Lisa Wolfson. And she is somebody who took all of her Reiki training from me, and she went to my surgery. If you read my angel book, you read that one of the my big result from 9/11 was that I got very sick 7 years after, and then I was sick for 5 years. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with me until I prayed to the angels. You know, it's like the shoemaker's children never have shoes. It's like, what? But I realized that, you know, a lot of things had to come into play so to make that be a really powerful experience and have results in the rest of the world. But yeah, and she's been to many surgeries since then, and so yeah, so she's teaching. She'll be teaching in New York in May, out on Long Island, and pretty soon I'm going to be in Portland.
Yes, we're excited.
We really are very
We are
excited
very
to
excited.
see you out
Then
here.
also, now, do you do a special attunement? Do medical Reiki practitioners have a special attunement then that goes with this, or?
You know what? That's really a great question. When this all started up, and you know, like I said, it was like an kind of like an order from higher up. I asked, is there a special attunement? Is there some other thing that needs to be given? And it was very clear, no, these are Reiki masters. Just redo all the attunements, just do them again. So, you know, I give the attunements, I'm in the Usui line. If you work with a lot of Reiki masters or train other people's students, you start to realize that people have different symbols. They've like all over the place, different symbols, but I just give the symbols that I was attuned to, that I know work, and then I leave it up to the person who is receiving the training as to whether or not they want to use those symbols. I recommend that you try them out, but I feel like that's it's what I need to do. Like, I know that within myself that's what I need to do, is so that everybody is at the same level.
Right.
You know, everybody knows the same stuff, everybody has the same attunements, everybody knows how to do the special distance healing that I teach, that I learned when I became a Reiki master, you know, during my training too. And it's come to my attention over and over that a lot of people don't know it, but it's crucial to know, because when you work with somebody who has cancer, you know, it comes up that you have to, their blood is crashed and you have to fix it, because otherwise a lot of bad stuff is going to go down for them. So this heals blood.
I'll be
never
darned.
not done it.
Yeah.
I'll be
Well,
darned.
that's really, really nice to know, because a lot of times as a Reiki practitioner and master, you don't go to attunements, and it's always nice to know that you can have an attunement that amps you up to the same spot as everyone else. So I think that's great. That's part of the class.
Yeah, it is.
Or maybe reattunes you so that you're
Right.
reminded, you know, from whence you come or from where you're getting your power, your energy.
Right.
Yeah. And then I also do a meditation at the end after the attunements, because I give all 3 attunements again. It's powerful, really amazing. You can imagine like all these angels in the room. Everybody's working with an angel. even if they're not angel practitioners or whatever, they're like really, their energy is ramped up. There are so many spirits there. And then I do this releasing meditation. So like you can let go of things that you might not even know were inside you from past lifetimes, you know? So it's very specific, very letting go. Very, it's like at the end.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, we will look forward very much to your visiting us, and that is going to be the 9th and 10th of July, and it's at Ancient Mystic Moon at 2435 North Lombard Street in Portland, Oregon.
And there are some slots still open, so contact us. We'll get you into the slot.
And Raven, would you like to share your contact information so people can, if they have questions after the broadcast, can get in touch with you or look at what you're doing and keep up with what you're doing? Because it sounds like you're moving at a really fast pace.
I know. Well, it's RAVENKEYES, my name, at gmail.com. That's a good one to send to. Right now, like I said, I'm doing the new website, so there'll be a different one, but that will always get to me because I'm never going to stop using that that address. And then also, hope you don't mind, I did write a few books. One is called The Healing Power of Reiki, and Dr. Oz wrote the foreword for that. And then The Healing Light of Angels, and the doctor who took out my kidney wrote the foreword for that.
Oh my goodness. So you had somebody doing Reiki for you while they were taking out your kidney?
Yes,
Good.
Lisa. I was the Reiki master that brought Reiki to that hospital.
Nice.
Yeah, I see flashing
Flashing? Uh-oh.
on the top of my screen, something
Oh,
about
yeah, flashed here too. We're not really technical here.
It's all good though. It's all good. So
So then I had Reiki during my surgery.
wow.
So as a patient, how did it feel?
That's a good question.
I let myself really have the experience, and I actually did have it without trying very hard. Like, you know, if you're going to get surgery, you don't know what your destiny is. If you're us, you assume it's all going to work out, but maybe this is it, you know? So I let myself have all those things. And there were some moments where I really did feel terror in a way. And, you know, because I wanted to know what the patients feel that are going through this. And it was my opportunity to find out. So I let myself have the experience as much as I could. And it is a scary thing, no matter who you are, to walk into an operating room and then everybody's wearing a mask and they're all covered up from head to toe, and then you have to get down on this table and they strap you down, and then it's like this IV and anesthesia. I mean, it's a whole mystical thing, anesthesia. And you'll see, like when you start to go to the operating room all the time, you'll learn so much about anesthesia, about what those monitors are and what they're indicating and why they're shooting something into the IV right now. And it's amazing.
Now,
Anyway.
Do you have a nursing background then, or you just?
No, I don't have a nursing background. No, I never wanted to have anything to do with any of this stuff. Which is why I think it's been given to me to do. It's not like I'm like, well, I'm just such a wonderful Reiki master. Follow me. I know exactly what to do. Well, I really do know what to do now, like it or not.
Kind of the lessons of hard knocks, it sounds like. Just experiencing it.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll tell you, I'm going to follow through. When I contacted you, when I first became aware of what you were doing, it kind of was like the old 2x4 hitting me up alongside the head, thinking, oh my God, we do need this here, you know. And how am I gonna me, I've got no background in any of it. It's how am I gonna go tell a doctor that he needs to have Reiki in his operating room of all things? So I am really looking forward to seeing how you did this.
Right. And actually, Debbie was extremely heartbroken because you made 2 attempts. It's the second attempt to get it out here to the Northwest. And then when it did fall through the first time, I had said, well, let's host it here. So that was kind of how we did it. We just decided we'd host here and get you out here because it has to come. The Pacific Northwest, we lag a little bit behind the East Coast, but we're going to catch up.
Well, it's also a very important part of the United States, and the energy in the Northwest is like amazing. And Portland, are you kidding me right now? It's like we were watching a program last night about how amazing Portland, Oregon is. They're so ahead of the curve on so many things. And I know that this is going to be great for you and for Portland. And also, we have our own private Facebook group, and the encouragement, everybody, it's like one, all for one and one for all. And we're all like pulling for each other, and like all kinds of articles are being posted every day. And whenever anything happens, we're like, if somebody's going out, we have a logo. So, you know, like everybody gets all excited, and we just keep the energy going, because that's what it's all about. It's taking all of that to make these things happen. And we do have a lot of things happening just about every day now. Somebody shows up, they want somebody in Detroit, somebody needs to go to, you know, Timbuktu, you fill in the blank. And that means, you know, if there aren't that many people to do it, and some people are willing to fly, you know, to another city.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been fun chatting with you. We're going to go ahead. We've got a couple of more announcements to make. And if there's anybody else who has any more questions, now's the time to ask her. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until July.
Or contact us or Raven, and we will find the information out for you.
And that's ravenkeys@gmail.com. And tell us your books again, Raven. I think that's great.
The Healing Power of Reiki, and there's another long title after that. And then the Healing Light of Angels, transforming your life with divine energy. So anyway, thank you very much, my dears. I will see you soon.
Well, thank you, Raven. We really appreciate all the information, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Wow, that was quite the interview. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I'm excited too. I hope that we get more people that really want to take the class. I would just love to pack this room. Can you imagine the angels and the energy if we pack this room with Reiki, you know, Master Reiki practitioners? Right. Wow.
Right.
That would be so
we
cool.
do have some more spaces, and it would be great to add you to the group. And once again, our next radio show is May 19th. We're going to be discussing grief recovery and grief in general. Ed Owens will be our guest. May 12th, I'm doing an automatic writing class. You can find information on ancientmysticmoon.com. Or it is on Facebook too. You can find us there.
Yeah, we are on Facebook too. So anyway, I think that's all we have for today. So look forward to seeing you again. And if anybody has any more questions, please feel free to check in with us at Debby Wallace, DebbyWallace @gmail.com, or Theresa WolfSilva @gmail.com. And we'll be happy to.
We're going to check one more chat here.
Nope, nothing. So anyway, and we thank you again.
Yes, thank you.